Welcome back to Moto Next Hub. Today we're diving deep into one of India's most talked about cruisers at the 2026 Bajaj Avenger 220. Whether you're curious about its real-world performance, design identity, touring comfort or simply thinking whether it's your next bike, we've got every detail covered. In this video, we break down what makes the Avenger 220 tick, what has been updated for 2026, and where it still holds its ground in the cruiser segment. Opening shot plus first impressions. 040A130. Roll the visuals of the bike from multiple angles. Cruising shots, close-ups of the engine, profile shots on road. The Avenger 220 is unmistakable, a classic cruiser silhouette with long wheelbase, low-slung seat, wide handlebars and that laid-back riding stance that instantly says cruise ready. It sticks to the traditional cruiser DNA, a teardrop tank, chrome elements, rounded headlight, and relaxed ergonomics, and that's part of its charm. (1/2) Bike whale. Engine performance, 130A315. Now let's talk about what's under that classic exterior. Powering the Avenger 220 is a 220cc single-cylinder, oil-cooled DTSI engine with fuel injection that produces around 19 PS of power, around 8,500 revolutions per minute and 17.5 Nm of torque at around 7,000 revolutions per minute. (1/2) Autos max about. This engine layout is the same proven unit shared with other Bajaj bikes like the Pulsar 220 FA, tuned not for outright sport, but for relaxed highway cruising and dependable daily use. The torque spread is tuned for low and mid-range punch, so it feels confident at speeds between 80 to 110 km per hour, which is where cruisers spend most of their time. (1/2) Brain nest. A smooth 5-speed gearbox keeps gearshifts crisp and predictable. While it's not a sport bike, the Avenger doesn't feel underpowered either. It holds speed well on open roads and gets comfortable mileage figures in the 35–40 kmpl range depending on riding style and conditions. (1/2) Brain nest plus 1. Ride quality handling, 315A5. The Avenger lives true to its name here, comfortable, effortless and built for long miles. It uses telescopic front forks up front and adjustable twin shock absorbers at the rear, giving that plush cruiser-like feel over imperfect roads. (1/2) Autos max about. The low center of gravity and relaxed ergonomics make city commuting surprisingly easy despite the longer frame. Body weight around 160 to 163 kilograms doesn't feel intimidating once you get rolling. (1/2) Bike whale. Ground clearance of around 169 mm is decent for Indian road conditions and keeps foot pegs safe on speed bumps and small obstacles, though it still prefers smooth roads over aggressive off-road terrain. (1/2) Autos max about. Brake safety, 5/6. Safety is anchored by a single-channel ABS system paired with a 280 mm front disc brake and a 130 mm rear drum brake. (1/2) ABS does its job well in preventing front-wheel lockups, and for most riders this setup feels adequate, though enthusiasts wanting sharper brake response might miss a rear disc or a dual-channel ABS. (1/2) Bike whale. Brain nest. Design comfort, 6/8. Here's where the Avenger shines for its core audience. You sit into this bike, and the relaxed posture just invites you to ride more. Think less. Big, wide seat, roomy ergonomics and upright handlebars mean you're not leaning forward. Instead, you're just cruising long distances, leisure rides, or city traffic in comfort. (1/2) Bike whale. Visually, there's always been a debate about the Avenger's styling, as some call it classic and timeless, others say it's dated. But Bajaj has kept the essential cruiser DNA intact with subtle updates, like new paint options and retention of signature accents that longtime fans appreciate. (1/2) Performance. The instrument cluster is simple and functional, giving you your essential ride stats clearly: a speedometer, tachometer, fuel gauge and basics without fuss. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2. Brain nest. Tech features, 8 o'clock K930. This isn't a tech-loaded motorcycle, and that's by design. You don't get fancy smartphone connectivity or full digital displays like some rivals. Instead, you get a logical, easy-to-read cluster, and for many riders that simplicity is part of the appeal. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 brain nest. A USB charging port is available in some variants for added convenience, particularly on long trips. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 The focus remains on a pure riding experience rather than gadget-heavy features. Brain nest price value, 930 at 11 o'clock. Here's an important piece. A price. For 2026, the on-road price of the Bajaj Avenger Cruise 220 starts around a superscript 11,50,000, a superscript 11,60,000 in major Indian cities, inclusive of RTO and insurance. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2. Bike whale. This positions it well below many higher displacement cruisers, giving riders a true cruiser feel without spending big bucks. For riders in markets beyond India, prices will vary, but the positioning remains budget-friendly for what it offers. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 faster real or pros cons. A real talk, 11 o'clock K1230. Let's keep it real. The Avenger 220 scores big on comfort, cruising character, easy handling and relaxed ergonomics. A perfect for daily riding and highway touring alike. It's also one of the most accessible cruiser bikes in its price bracket. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 bike whale. However, some riders point out drawbacks. The absence of dual-channel ABS and rear disc brake can feel dated. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 brain nest. The tech level is basic compared to rivals. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 brain nest. And yes, some owners mention service or minor reliability concerns over years of ownership. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 Reddit. Still, many owners love its easygoing nature and low maintenance costs compared to larger cruisers. WHO is the spike for 1230 A1330. If you're a newbie wanting your first cruiser, a commuter who likes comfort, or a weekend rider who cruises highways without worrying about high RPM stress, the Avenger 220 feels right. It's not designed to outgun sport bikes, but rather to give a relaxed, enjoyable ride you can count on. IDRSS inverted question mark 1/2 bike whale. Conclusion verdict, 1330 A. And so what's the bottom line? The 2026 Bajaj Avenger 220 continues to serve what it set out to do: deliver classic cruiser vibes at a reasonable price with a comfortable ride and reliable performance. It may not be packed with cutting-edge tech, but it doesn't aim to be. It's a cruiser by definition. A simple, laid back, and ready to roll. If you enjoyed this review, smash that like button, subscribe for more honest motorcycle reviews right here on Moto Next Hub, and drop a comment letting us know what bike you'd like reviewed next. Ride safe and see you on the next one.